CBS drops its list of its top 100 NFL players, and 3 Chicago Bears make the list. 2 of those 3. And is there a snub on this list? We'll talk about all that and more on today's episode of the Windy City Breeze Sports Talk Daily. Let's go. Now, if you are new to the channel, hit the like button. Please subscribe to the page. We do talk Chicago sports daily on this channel. It's the only channel talking Chicago sports, how Chicago talks. So make sure that you get in tune with us. And please, if you're watching, hit that like button. YouTube been messing with us since we got back a little bit, right? Now, don't wanna push the videos out. Every time you guys hit that like button, it helps us push the video out. And if you subscribe, it helps the channel even more. So appreciate you guys for showing love. We got 3 Chicago Bears who end up making the top 100 players in the NFL. And listen, this one to me is a very interesting list because I've got certain problems with the list, but overall I think it's a pretty good list of the top 100 players in the league. And the fact that we've got 3 Chicago Bears on this list, I think does tell you that we're moving in the right direction with this. But let's start this thing off, right? Let's talk about the 3 Bears that really make the biggest impact on this team and are gonna really help us this season that end up making this list. Starting things off here, got to start it off with Jaylon Johnson. Jaylon Johnson, Pete Prisco put this list together, by the way, at CBS. He had this to say about Jaylon Johnson. He had a breakout season in 2023, which earned him a new contract from the team. He gives the team a true number 1 corner and will team with Tyreek Stevenson and Kyler Gordon to give them the best trio in the league. And I listen, I have to agree with Pete on this one. I mean, I think the fact that you're talking about these 3 DBs and especially Jaylon Johnson leading the way among these 3 DBs, I think that that's he is the engine that makes a lot of things happen on this defense. He also has him ranked as the 4th best corner on this list out of anybody, right? He's got him behind Sauce Gardner at 12 from the Jets, Patrick Surtain the 2nd from the Denver Broncos, 25th, and Trent McDuffie, he's always in his Duffy, 30th from the Kansas City Chiefs. I'm not mad at any of the names that he's behind, but I think when you look at Jaylon Johnson, he's absolutely vaulted himself into the conversation of being that top DB in this league, being that shutdown corner. And that's why I love the fact that Jaylon Johnson makes this list so high. He comes in, like I said, 34th. I don't know if I did say that. 34th on this list, just behind Trent McDuffie, who to me, honestly, if we're being honest, I could have put him above Patrick Surtain. But there's not really much of a conversation for Jaylon Johnson being above those guys just yet. But I think this is the season where he really can get that foothold. Let me know how you guys feel about where Jaylon Johnson is placed on the list. Do you think that 34 is apt for Jaylon Johnson, 4th best DB in the league? Do you think that he should be higher? I will have the entire list linked below because I'm just pointing out some of the Bears players and who were the position groups named above them. So if you want to tap into that, tap in with that as well. Number 73 on the list, the 2nd Chicago Bear on this list is Montez Sweat, defensive end. Now, I know you're sitting there going, what a drop. From 34 to 73, that's where the next Chicago Bear comes in. Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. And when I looked at this list, I was like, all right, who are the names that are in between them? I can't deny that I agree probably where Montez falls on this list. I'm not mad at where Montez falls on this list. And as far as the defensive end goes, I think that he's aptly listed on here. Right now, they have him as the 9th best defensive end in the NFL. Top 10 still. Very, very positive to hear about Montez Sweat. What he was able to do last season with his numbers, I think you really have to point out. Talked about how he had his career best 12.5 sacks last season. Playing for the Commanders and Bears. Remember, I believe it was 6 for the Commanders, 6.5 for the Bears. So really split that fairly evenly. He was traded midway through the season from Washington to Chicago and quickly established himself as a top edge defender on the Chicago defense. And listen, when you look at the numbers, you love what you see from Montez Sweat, right? When you're looking at the numbers, you like the fact that Montez Sweat is on this list and that he's established himself among those top 10 defensive ends. The guys that are listed ahead of him, though, I can't put Montez above any of them. I really don't even have a conversation to give you on why Montez will be above him, but I do think that he has a chance to stake his name higher in this conversation this season with how this defense is being built, with the growth that we are hoping to see from Javon Dexter coming into this season. But where he stands right now, Myles Garrett was 2 on this list, Nick Bosa 10, Max Crosby 11, Chris Jones was 14, which was wild to me. Also, Chris Jones like kind of just floats along that entire defensive line, so to call him a defensive end is a little bit interesting to me. Trey Hendrickson was 33, Daniil Hunter was 35, Aiden Hutchinson 47. Maybe there's a little bit of a case where Aiden Hutchinson is at that you would have Montez Sweat being above him there. That is the one that I was that when I saw the name, I was kind of like, but listen, Aiden Hutchinson had a phenomenal season. I believe 11.5 sacks for him last year. Ton of pressure. Didn't get as many of those sacks in the second half of the season, but I thought Aiden Hutchinson had a huge impact on what the Lions defense was doing, and I think that he'll continue to be an absolute dog this season. And then 55, DeMarcus Lawrence at the Dallas Cowboys. I'm not surprised by that. The one part that did surprise me, right? He comes in 9th on this list. You probably could say he's 10th for some people. They list Micah Parsons as a linebacker, but we know Micah Parsons, when he's on that line coming off of the edge, is one of the more dominant players that you're going to see. They do list him as a linebacker because of how many duties he covers, but I think that you could throw Micah Parsons in that conversation as well. But right now, 9th defensive end in the league. And when you see what Montez, right, like I said, what he brings to this defense, how he allows this defense to attack, how when this offense hopefully, right, gets a lead, we haven't really seen Montez in his, definitely not last year, but for most of his career, have an opportunity to just go out there and pin his ears back. Think about that. 12.5 sacks last season. And we really didn't see him with a ton of opportunity to pin his ears back. If the Chicago Bears can get their offense moving this season in the right direction, if they can attack these guys, if they can absolutely go out there and put some points up early, get the first quarter scoring going early, and you get Montez Sweat with an opportunity to pin his ears back and just go after the quarterback, I think that you will see things change as far as Montez's position on this list. But right now it's 73rd. I'm not mad at that. Now, here is the one that I do have a gripe with. Let me know how you guys feel in the comments below about Montez Sweat. Do you feel like he is the 9th best defensive end in the NFL? Do you feel like 73 is a little bit low on this list for Montez Sweat? There's some names in there that are thrown in there, right? Aaron Rodgers is still on this list, right? Kirk Cousins comes in on this list at like 100. So I'll get to that when I get to some of my snubs on this list, right? Because I think there's an absolute major snub on this CBS list. But let me know how you guys feel in the comments below. 84th on the list, ladies and gentlemen. And the one that I probably have the most problem with, and I wrote it down wrong on here. I put him 83 on this graphic, but he's actually 84th on this list. DJ Moore. Let me double check that. Let me make sure I'm not tweaking here, because the article I read did have him 83, but now that I pulled the actual, okay, they've got him 84th, which I have even more of a problem with, right? 84th on this list is DJ Moore, right? He had his career best 96 catches in his first season with the Chicago Bears, but the best thing about him is his big playability that is evident by his 14.2 yards per catch average. And here's why, here's why I have a problem with this. And to me, this is a little bit of disrespect. This is a little bit of disrespect on DJ Moore's name. When you get to the top wide receivers, no issue. Tyreek Hill comes in as the 4th best player in the NFL. No issue. Justin Jefferson, 7. No issue. Jamar Chase, 13. No issue. CeeDee Lamb, 21. Questioning, but not really having an issue, right? Devontae Adams, 26. No issue. AJ Brown, 27. Questioning, but not really having an issue. Amon-Ra St. Brown, 39. No issue. Jalen Waddle, 42. No issue. Brandon Ayuk, team that went to the Super Bowl, I got some questions, but I'll allow it. Now we get to Puka Nacua. I understand the hot rookie season. I understand how he played this season. I think that Puka Nacua was an absolute monster this year, and you have to give him his flowers. But Puka Nacua comes in 66th on this list. You're telling me that he is 22 spots better, or I'm sorry, no, 18 spots better than DJ Moore. Let's stop it now. Let's stop the cap on this. I love what Puka Nacua did. I think he had a phenomenal season. But Puka Nacua is not better than DJ Moore. I would take DJ Moore over Puka right now. George Pickens, 68. All right, let's breathe, guys. George Pickens, phenomenal receiver, belongs on the list. By the way, Puka belongs on the list. Phenomenal receivers belong on the list. No way. No way. Nico Collins, phenomenal season, belongs on the list. Over DJ Moore, though? Give me DJ Moore all day. And then here's where my issue comes in even a little bit more on this. You also disrespected, in my mind, Deebo Samuel, who, when he was off the field, right, I think Deebo Samuel was a phenomenal, now he's an everything player, right? But to me, I think he's a phenomenal wide receiver, and I'd put him above some of the guys who are on this list. By the way, 72 on the list. I skipped one. I went straight to Nico Collins. 72 on the list is Garrett Wilson, who I would put above DJ Moore because of what we saw from him last year without his quarterback. I think that you disrespected him as well by putting him this low on the list. And then 82, Devontae Adams, and then you get to 84, DJ Moore on that list. I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it. Give me DJ Moore. I would say the bottom 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of the six. By the way, I'd also take DJ Moore over Deebo Samuel as a wide receiver. I would take Deebo Samuel all around, though. All around, you can't argue with Deebo. Deebo's the dominant. But give me DJ Moore over Deebo as a wide receiver. But 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of the last 6 wide receivers on this list, you got DJ Moore behind him. By the way, I don't know if you guys were keeping count on that. They have DJ Moore ranked as the 16th best wide receiver in this NFL. I think the wide receiver disrespect on this list is absolutely asinine, and there's no way that I was going to get on a video talking about this and not let it fly. Oh, by the way, I don't know if you noticed this, Bears fans, but there was a very important name missing from this list. There was a very important name missing from this list that, to me, right, just an absolute joke when we're grading wide receivers on this list. I don't care how old he is. I don't care if he is coming off a little bit of injury that he said that he could play through. You left 1,200 yards through 13 games off of this list. You left 7 touchdowns through 13 games off of this list. You left 108 receptions through 13 games off of this list. Don't you honorable mention, which he did. He put him in the honorable mentions. Don't you honorable mention Keenan Allen. I'm sorry. I'm taking Keenan Allen over. I'm not going to lie to you, bro. I would put Keenan Allen right where Brandon Ayuk is. 45th on that list. Right where Brandon Ayuk is. He's definitely better than. Now, I think there's still a case for guys like Jalen Waddle, Amon-Ra, A.J. Brown, Devontae Adams, CeeDee Lamb. They all belong where they're at. But right where Brandon Ayuk is, 45th, Keenan Allen should be placed on that list, especially when you've got people on the list at the bottom of this list that, like, come on, dog. There's no way you're taking Keenan Allen, or there's no way you're taking Kirk Cousins is 98th on this list. No way. Over Keenan Allen? Are we for real? Jalen Carter's 93. Over Keenan Allen? Derrick Henry, 91. Derrick Henry still balling. Over Keenan Allen? I'm not buying it, bro. I'm not buying it. I think that there was some snubs on this list. I think that there was some interesting placement of the wide receiver group on this list. And to me, I think that you got the wide receivers wrong. I was fine with, I'd say, 85% of this list. But when you got to those back half wide receivers, I think there was some disrespect that came into play, and I got a problem with it. I had to mention it here on this show. Let me know you guys' thoughts. Do you feel like DJ Moore was placed too low? Do you feel like Keenan Allen was snubbed, being listed in like the 40 honorable mention players that are on this list, dog? Like, there's like 40 of them at the bottom of the article. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, man. I appreciate you guys for tuning in and showing love. As always, hit that like button, subscribe to the page, leave that 5-star review. Y'all know what to do. It's your boy Pat the Designer back at it again to continue watching our Chicago Bears content, which we've been dropping a bunch of stuff. YouTube hasn't pushed it to a lot of the subscribers that we currently have. They haven't pushed it to new people. So if you're checking this video out, keep tapping in with the Bears content. We dropped the video earlier today. We dropped a couple of videos yesterday. So stay tapped in with us, man. Y'all stay safe out there, Chicago. Bear down. One love. Peace.